As of November 2025, the world teeters on a knife's edge, with old tensions reigniting and new conflicts erupting from Eastern Europe to the South China Sea. The war in Ukraine shattered the illusion that large-scale warfare was a thing of the past, forcing nations everywhere to urgently rethink their military strategies. In the Middle East, rivalries simmer. In Asia, suspicion drives a rapid military buildup. This global insecurity is fueling an unprecedented surge in military spending as governments pour resources into defense, convinced that strength is the only reliable currency. For some, it's about survival. For others, projecting power in a fractured world. The logic is stark. When diplomacy falters, a modern military becomes the ultimate insurance policy. From Warsaw to Seoul, Berlin to Tokyo, a new arms race is underway, one not defined by two superpowers, but by a complex web of nations, each with unique ambitions. This race is sparking an industrial boom, reviving old factories and forging new alliances. Demand for tanks, jets, missiles, and drones is at an all-time high, reshaping economies and job markets. The consequences of this global rearmament will define international security for decades. This is the story of fear, ambition, and industrial might on a global scale. The scale of the military manufacturing boom is best revealed in numbers. In 2023, the world's top 100 arms companies generated $632 billion in revenue, a 4.2% jump from the previous year. The U.S. dominates, with 41 of the top 100 firms and $317 billion in revenue. But growth is global. Middle Eastern arms revenue jumped 18%, and Asia-Oceania reached $136 billion. The Ukraine war supercharged Russia's defense sector, with its top two firms reporting a 40% revenue surge. Russia's factories now run around the clock, signaling Moscow's intent to sustain its military campaign. Each nation's military upgrade triggers a reaction, fueling a cycle of escalation. The billions spent are more than transactions, they're a measure of global anxiety. Every new contract tells the story of a world preparing for conflict. The numbers don't lie, they reveal a planet bracing for uncertainty. Asia's strategic landscape is being reshaped by a surge in defense production. Nations like India, South Korea, Japan, and Taiwan are investing heavily in domestic arms industries, seeking self-reliance amid rising tensions. India's Make in India campaign and the Tejas fighter jet project highlight the drive to reduce foreign dependence. South Korea's defense exports, from K-9 howitzers to K-2 tanks, are booming, fueled by decades of investment and the North Korean threat. Japan is reinterpreting its constitution for a stronger defense posture, while Taiwan accelerates missile and submarine development. This regional arms race is a cycle. One country's modernization prompts another's, making Asia a dynamic and volatile arena. The implications for regional and global stability are profound. Europe's post-Cold War peace dividend vanished with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Suddenly, defense budgets soared as governments scrambled to rearm. NATO's 2% GDP target for defense is now the baseline, not the exception. Germany launched a $100 billion fund to modernize its military. Poland is building one of Europe's largest land armies. Factories across Europe are ramping up production. Rheinmetall's order books are full, BAE Systems is expanding, and French firms are accelerating deliveries. Yet, years of underinvestment mean supply chains are strained, and skilled labor is scarce. Scaling up production for complex systems takes time, creating a dangerous lag as threats loom. Europe is racing to rebuild its military strength and industrial capacity before it's too late. The continent's security now depends on how quickly it can adapt. The stakes have never been higher. As Europe rearms, it's turning to the U.S. for advanced military hardware in a multi-billion-dollar buying spree. U.S. foreign military sales to Europe hit $76 billion in 2024, over 4 times the annual average since 2008. Poland leads the charge, buying air defense systems. Poland is also acquiring Apache helicopters. Poland is purchasing Abrams tanks. Germany is acquiring Chinook helicopters. Germany is also investing in F-35 stealth fighters, marking a major policy shift. Finland is investing in the F-35. The Czech Republic is investing in the F-35. Romania is investing in the F-35. Switzerland is investing in the F-35. Turkey secured a $23 billion deal to upgrade its F-16 fleet. From 2022 to 2024, US sales made up over half of NATO Europe's equipment spending. This rapid procurement ensures speed and interoperability, but deepens dependency on Washington. Europe's security is increasingly tied to American technology and its political wins. The convenience comes with long-term risks. Europe's reliance on US military hardware brings serious long-term risks. Advanced systems like the F-35 are software-driven and controlled by the US, making European operators dependent for updates and maintenance. The US controls spare parts and can reprioritize deliveries, leaving Europe vulnerable in a crisis. Politically, Washington holds ultimate power, able to delay, restrict, or even disable exported systems if interests diverge. This leverage worries European leaders, especially as US political priorities shift. The massive investment in US equipment locks Europe into dependency for decades. The debate over strategic autonomy, Europe's ability to act independently, is now urgent. The F-35s and Abrams tanks bought today will shape Europe's security for a generation. The continent faces a stark choice: rely on Washington, or build its own strength. The future of European security hangs in the balance. Behind the numbers are the companies powering the military boom. Europe's defense giants, BAE Systems, Leonardo, Thales, are experiencing a renaissance, building everything from submarines to advanced electronics. New players like Germany's Rheinmetall and Sweden's Saab are rising, while Poland's PGZ and Ukraine's defense industry are expanding rapidly. In Asia, South Korea's Hanwha Aerospace and India's Hindustan Aeronautics are winning global contracts, challenging Western dominance. These firms supply not just their own militaries, but also export high-quality, competitively priced products worldwide. Air defense and advanced fighter jets are in highest demand, as seen in Poland's $15 billion IBCS deal and the wave of F-35 orders. Even small contracts, like Collins Aerospace's deal with TT Electronics, show the globalized nature of defense supply chains. Cybersecurity is rising in importance, with European firms developing next-gen military data protection. Each contract, large or small, is a piece of the new global security puzzle. The industrial surge is as much about innovation as it is about firepower. The world's defense industry is being transformed before our eyes. In Brussels and across Europe, strategic autonomy is the new mantra. The goal: build Europe's own military, industrial, and technological muscle to reduce dependence on the US. Policy is shifting, boosting domestic production, encouraging joint projects, and integrating supply chains. Denmark's choice of a European air defense system over a US option signals a new direction. Investment in next-gen tech, AI, drones, quantum computing is accelerating, with projects like the Future Combat Air System leading the way. But challenges remain. National interests clash, industries compete, and US tech dominance is hard to break. Europe's quest for autonomy is a generational struggle, balancing today's US security guarantee with tomorrow's independence. The fight for Europe's future is underway, and the outcome will shape its place in the world. The stakes are nothing less than sovereignty. The global military manufacturing boom is both a symptom and a driver of instability. Some argue that stronger, better-armed nations deter aggression and promote peace. Others warn that arms races fuel mistrust, lower the threshold for conflict, and risk catastrophic escalation. Advanced weaponry and interconnected supply chains make the world more fragile and volatile. The choice is stark: channel new military strength into stability, or risk fueling new conflicts. Robust diplomacy and arms control are more urgent than ever. The factories building tanks and missiles reflect our fears, but they don't have to define our future. The path we choose now will determine peace and security for generations.